Hello everyone. Today, I would like to introduce the Korean travel story of Jacob, a travel writer from the UK. Mr. Jacob has traveled to many Asian countries and captured their unique cultures and people on camera. However, he experienced discomfort as a foreigner in many countries. Because of this, they say they had a slightly negative perception of Asia. Then, when he traveled to Korea, his perspective completely changed. It is said that in Korea, Mark experienced warm and touching moments that broke his prejudices. Through this story, we will share the various events Mark experienced in Korea and the emotions he felt.
Hello everyone. My name is Jacob and I am a travel writer, based in the United States and England. I travel around the world to experience and record the cultures of each country. Asia has always been one of the regions I've been most interested in, but I had somewhat mixed feelings about it. Due to my previous travel experiences, I was able to visit Japan, China, and various countries in Southeast Asia, and enjoy the beautiful traditions and nature of each country. There were quite a few difficulties I felt as a foreigner. In Japan, I felt an atmosphere that emphasized cultural courtesy, but did not easily interact with foreigners. In China, I also experienced communication difficulties and negative treatment. In particular, in Southeast Asia, excessive commercialism and discriminatory pricing targeting tourists were disappointing. But my trip to Korea was completely different. At first, I didn't have high expectations, thinking it would simply be similar to other countries. My experience in Korea far exceeded my expectations. Korea is not simply a country with many beautiful tourist attractions, but a country full of warm hospitality and honesty of its people. I have been disappointed by several negative experiences during my past trips to Asia. For example, in Japan, if you get lost while using public transportation, I asked locals for help, but most of them avoided me or pretended not to know me. I tried to understand that it was a sense of distance due to cultural differences, but the feeling of alienation I felt as a foreigner was unavoidable. In China, I once did not receive a proper menu at a restaurant. There were no menus in English, and the employees seemed more dismissive than helpful. In the end, I couldn't order the food properly and had to leave. In Southeast Asia, excessive commercialism among tourists has been a problem. I tried to buy a simple souvenir at the market, but found that the products are sold very cheaply to locals. They tried to sell it for more than twice the price because I was a foreigner. As these experiences repeated, I was gradually losing my expectations about Asia. But in Korea, everything was different. From my first day in Korea, I experienced warm hospitality and honesty. From the first accommodation, the owner personally guided us to local attractions. You really helped me plan my trip. And Korean people did not discriminate or ignore people because they were foreigners. Rather, it was surprising to see them trying to understand better. My first step in Korea started at Incheon International Airport. I've flown a few times for travel, but Incheon Airport is by far one of the most efficient and modern airports. As I stood in line to go through immigration, the inspector greeted me with a bright smile and processed my documents quickly. Usually immigration is a nerve-wracking moment, but here I actually felt welcomed. After going through screening and picking up my luggage, I found the information desk in the airport. When I asked about transportation to the hotel, the staff explained in detailed English the pros and cons of buses, taxis, and subways. In particular, he personally drew a map, recommending the cheapest and most convenient way to get to the destination. I couldn't help but be moved by that kindness. This small consideration filled me with excitement about traveling to Korea. The next day, I visited Bukchon Hanok village in Seoul. The sight of traditional Hanok buildings lined up made me feel like I had gone back in time. After walking around for a while, I felt thirsty, so I went into a tea house. The interior of the tea house was filled with the warm scent of wood unique to Hanok, and a small garden was visible beyond the window. As I was looking at the menu, the owner approached me and explained, step by step, the types of tea and their benefits. Although he had some difficulty explaining things in English, he made me understand everything with his hand gestures and smile. When I was hesitant about which tea to choose, the owner brought me a sample and let me taste it for myself. In the end, I chose jujube tea as she recommended. The moment I drank a cup of warm, sweet jujube tea and looked out at the garden, I felt deeply at peace. And the uncle said, since you came all the way from abroad, please eat the rice cakes we made in our house. He handed me medicine and a plate. The next day, I had the opportunity to learn the traditional Korean instrument kaegum at a cultural experience center in Seoul. When I arrived at the center, the staff welcomed me warmly and told me when the class would start. Although the class was held in a simple space, the instructor led the class by providing an interesting explanation of the history and structure of the kaegum. Knowing that it was my first time playing an instrument, she encouraged me by saying, it's okay to take it slow, just enjoy it. When I tried to play the kaegum clumsily, the instructor corrected my posture from the side. I'm doing well. Music is something I enjoy, he said. Thanks to the instructor's warm advice and guidance, I was able to complete one song, even though it was a short period of time. Even after class, the instructor said, if you want to learn more about traditional Korean music, visit here. He introduced information about several museums and performances. This kind of sincere consideration made me fall deeper into traditional Korean culture. While enjoying a walk along the Han River, I had the opportunity to observe the daily lives of Korean people up close. It was very peaceful to see people riding bicycles, or spreading out mats and enjoying a picnic with their family or friends. Then suddenly it started raining. Since I couldn't bring an umbrella, I jumped under a nearby tree. At that moment, a middle-aged couple approached and offered to share their umbrella. I was confused at first, but the couple's sincere offer made me share their umbrella with gratitude. After the rain stopped, the couple recommended a nearby restaurant and said, be sure to try delicious food during your trip to Korea. He left with a greeting. Those warm moments made the rainy day a special memory. On the last day of my trip to Korea, I visited a traditional market. The market, filled with the lively voices of merchants and stalls selling street food, was a place where you could feel new energy. I bought tteokbokki on the street, and the vendor knew I was a foreigner, and asked me if I could eat spicy food well. He recommended less spicy tteokbokki, saying, if you can't eat spicy food, eat it this way. Additionally, the merchant hands out a small skewer of fish cake as a service. Try it. If you like Korean food, I'll recommend other menu items, he said. Although it was a small favor, I was able to deeply feel the affection of the Korean people. In this way, my experience in Korea was full of warmth and honesty. Wherever I went and whoever I met, I could feel the sincere consideration coming from people's hearts. Korea is not just a country with beautiful tourist destinations. These were the moments when I realized that this is a country where the hospitality and affection of the people stand out. My experience in Korea completely changed the negative prejudice I had about Asia. Due to previous experiences, I thought Asian people were indifferent to foreigners, or only treated them commercially. The people I met in Korea showed genuine kindness and consideration. My experience in Korea reminded me of the true meaning of hospitality. Development as a tourist destination is important, but I learned that sincere, Consideration and honesty are the factors that move the hearts of foreigners.
Jacob's story gives us a lot to think about. The fact that hospitality and warmth at a travel destination go beyond simple kindness and can build bridges between people. I hope there will be more touching stories like this in the future. Thank you for watching. Subscriptions, likes, and notifications are a great help in video production. Thank you for watching.